right, good afternoon. Today is Saturday the 12th, and my plan for today is to cash unstuff paycheck one budget, close out paycheck one budget, cash stuff paycheck two budget, and start out my paycheck two budget tracker and pretty much just get everything up to date. And then honestly, I should be really caught up with everything in my planner unless I do more spending. It's the movement from one paycheck to another and then catching up on expenses. That's pretty much what I'm doing most days. All right. But this is helping me a lot, and I hope it's helping you guys too. Just keeping up with it and actually showing you everything that I'm doing is forcing me to do it, because I would let this build up for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then I look back and my credit card is like $1,000. And I'm like, wait, how much did I spend in groceries? That's more than I wanted to. How am I going to close out my budget? It was a mess. It was very stressful, very annoying. All right. So what we have, I did total up what I spent on everything. I took out some change just to make sure that I can break all of my bigger bills. And then I also took out, this is the cash stuffing for my second paycheck, which is just 3 envelopes. So I didn't spend anything in toiletries. And actually, I'm going to keep a tally of what I've left in my cash envelopes that I am rolling over to the next pay period, because that will be very helpful when saying how much I have available to me on paycheck two tracker. So toiletries, I didn't spend any, so I am rolling over all 30. Groceries. So from this, I calculated the total of my groceries. I did do really only one order for $107, but about $20 of that was supplies for my Etsy shop, so I'm not going to count that as the groceries. So that will make it $87.76. I'm going to round up, and I'm going to take out 88, which will leave me with $12. All right, so I just need $12. Let's see if I need more. I'll have to get a 20 from one of my envelopes. Okay, so taking out the 100, putting in the change of 12 because I spent 88. And I'm going to check off groceries and say that I put in, or that I took 88 from it. Okay, next we have takeout. $83 I've spent in April. Do you believe that? It's only the 12th. That's pretty sickening. So I need $17. Yeah, so here's 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's sickening. This is embarrassing. I also should get smaller bills in my cash envelopes. Okay, so that was 83. What I'm going to do is write 83 here, and then I'm just going to cross out a bunch of stuff. And some of it, like, I bought lunch for me and my husband. Just, sometimes I just buy food for him and stuff like that. So I didn't eat $83 worth all myself, but mostly, yes, I did. Oh, my dog is getting riled up. Chewy, Wawa. I think that's it. Okay. So next is budgeting supplies. What's up, girl? What is it? Oh, she might. I think she smells the matches. She's running around sniffing for something, and I don't usually use matches. Aw, everything's okay. I think that she's honestly worried about that. All right, budgeting supplies. I bought a cash tray, an imperfect cash tray, and I bought a little A7. Yeah, she's sniffing the matches wrapper. Oh. And I bought an A7 booklet to save $500. And I didn't know what I wanted to put that towards. I'm going to put it towards a new laptop. All right. Actually, let me show you. It's really cute. This is the $500 savings. This is from Bee on a Budget. She has her own website. It's not an Etsy shop, but it's got a little tracker and then all the envelopes. Okay. Pretty cute. And then the cash tray that I bought, it didn't arrive yet. It was actually from, I think Canada or Australia. But they were really pretty and it was a great price, especially for being imperfect. So I just snagged it up. I'm going to put both of their links in the description of this video. And then when it arrives, I'll be doing Happy Meal for sure. All right, so budgeting supplies, I paid that off, $29.90. So I spent $47 total, $29.90 here, and then $16.82. Next is clothing and shoes. I'll add to that at some point. Miscellaneous, I actually didn't spend anything from that. Household, I did spend $24. So I'm going to put $26 back in here. See, this is not $26. Oh, I need smaller bills. All right, what I'm going to do. No, I need those 20s. Oh no. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so I'm just going to put a post-it here. I have 18. I need $8 more. A little IOU. Whoop, I can't write. Right? Yeah, so I have 18. I need 26. 1, 2, 18. Okay. So that was all my change. This will go into household. I'm just going to stick that in there right in the front so I can see it. Okay. So the unstuffing is done. Let me write down that I did the house supplies. And then all that should be left on here are things that I'm not paying off right now. Bills I'm going to do with the last paycheck of the month. I wanted to save a bunch of my money up front to make that last credit card payment yesterday. And these subscriptions that I'm paying off at the end of the month, they're already on a credit card. So all that I'm doing is paying off that credit card charge. So they're already paid technically, according to the company. So don't need that. Car seat protectors, I'm gonna pay this off in pay period 2. So I'm gonna add in to what I'm rolling over the money that I'm gonna take from the cash envelope. And I don't put my car envelope in my beginning typically because I don't use it often, luckily. If I have to make an appointment, I usually know ahead of time. It's not like an emergency, thank God. I did have, I don't know, I think it was like 2 months ago. I did have problems with my car and I had to pull over on the highway and it kind of like broke down. It was very, very scary. Very scary. So car, I'm going to pay off next period. 23, that is part of, actually that was the $24 that I paid off. That's all of it. So Netflix, gym, those are all subscriptions. Pet food. I didn't do pet food, which means I don't have change for pet food. All right. I'll just make another IOU. Okay, so I spent 170. I spent 162, and what I gave myself was 170. So I'm gonna put a post-it that I owe myself $8. And I'm going to take all of this in here. Okay. So cash unstuffing is complete. And now I get to fill out, let me write that here, 162. And then I'll fill that out later. I'm just going to put on here everything that I just paid. So it's kind of just clear, like one line, groceries, $88, pet food, 162. This was paycheck 1. So I'm going to close this out, which means I need to write down how much I spent in each category. So that way I know how much I'm rolling over my cash envelopes. I was going off of this right here. So what I circled is how much I am rolling over. And then this is how much I spent in pay period 1. I'll just write pay 1 to pay 2. So groceries was, I spent 88. And the difference will come out over here with that I'm carrying over $12. Toiletries, I have everything left. Oops. So I spent 0. Household, I spent 24. Takeout, disgusting. I spent 83. Pets, I spent 162. Miscellaneous, I didn't spend any. Budgeting, I spent 47. I can't really, let me put that over here. So I actually made another budgeting supplies purchase, and I'm in the middle of making another one, but I'm going to be paying those off in May, or I could do that with some of my overtime this month, because I did get my yearly raise. I just got that in my last paycheck. So I will have a little bit more than I thought I would this month, but I kind of wanted to put that towards my care credit card just for my foot surgery, which I'll be paying off next month anyways. All right, so let's do some math. So we have 150 plus 55 plus 88 plus 24 plus 83 plus 162 plus 47. 609. That sounds like so much money. The two purchases, the budgeting supplies purchases that I'm making, on the way, I believe she already shipped it from Simply Budgeted. I got some envelopes, and then Crafted by Coco, I'm getting some leopard custom paper clips for that. So I think that'll be so cute. All right, 609. However, that's good. I spent so much less than I had given myself, which is great. We're good here. So I had no bills, which is nothing. I had a total of 609 spent. And this leftover, oh, I'm sorry. Let me zoom in. So this leftover, there's a leftover and then a budget and then a leftover and an actual. So from up here, the budget is what I expected to have as an income and a starting balance for the month. However, I got paid a little bit more than I expected. So what I'm going to do is take 1143 minus 609, giving me how much I've left for the other categories. All right, so, oh my God. I'm going through it, guys. I'm going through it. All right, so 1143. I have to hold this because my binder's not really even right now. 1143.18 minus the 609, giving me 534.18 for the other categories. Okay, so bringing that over, I still only put 10 in my buffer. Better luck next time. So that is gonna, my total right here will be 10. I should have wrote 10 here. So that means that what I've left is 524.18 because I used $10. And if this is correct, this is going to match what I have in my checking account plus my cash envelopes, which I'm going to confirm that at the end. And then I spent $283 here. So I'm going to do the $534.18 minus $10 minus $283, $241.18. All right, let's see if this is correct. Because so many times you'll do a budget closeout, whether it's for just one paycheck, which is easier, or if it's for the whole month and your numbers don't match up at all. And that it's really annoying and stressful when you're trying to figure it out. So 241.18 is what I should be bringing over into the next pay period. This is what I had in my checking account before I got paid. So 79.79 plus 15.39, that is 95.18. I need more room. And then this is what I had left in my paychecks, my cash envelopes. So I had, let me do it right here. So I'm going to do 12 plus 17 plus 8 plus 3 plus 26. And then remember, I didn't spend anything in toiletries, so I'm going to add 30. Whoops. Yeah, plus 30. And then I didn't spend anything miscellaneous, so I'm going to add 50. 146 plus 95.18, 241.18. All right, perfect. So I'm going to go over it just really, really briefly and quickly because it can be very confusing to do this, but it's really your beginning account totals, your cash envelopes that you're rolling over if you are. I usually don't roll over from one month to the next. I usually just clear them out and then start over fresh for the next month. So your account totals, your cash envelopes that you're rolling over, and then your income. You take that total minus everything that you spend equals what's left. So it seems very simple, but if you're not tracking it completely, you're going to forget things and you're going to miss things, and it's just not gonna work out. All right, and if you can't figure out why it's not working out, just drop it and move on, because it can really, like, it's brought me to tears, and I'm like, why is it like I'm missing so much money? But I'm not missing money. Like, I mean, at least I hope I'm not, but just don't let it stress you out so much. All right, so what I'm gonna do just to clear this up for the second paycheck. So I had 146 in cash. And then my checking accounts were 95.18. I'm just going to write CK for checking. And then I'm going to roll over, what did I spend on car seat covers? I think it was $45. 45. And I got a car wash. Nope, I already took car wash money out. So I am just going to have to edit. Or if I just actually, even though I already took the $20 out, I'm gonna say that I'm rolling over 80 of my car money, but I've spent 20. Even though that happened like the beginning of the month, I just want to show it and log it. So I'm gonna say that I'm bringing over, yep, here. So I had $80 and I took out 20. I broke it down because I only needed 16 for the car wash. And I got change back in quarters. I got $4 back. I'm putting that right in my penny challenge. So I'm going to put, I'm carrying over 80 of my car cash envelope. And then when I'm tracking on paycheck 2, I'm going to put 80 here. But because I didn't plan for it, I'm not going to put the money there. I'm just going to put actual. So this will be car. I know that I took out 20 for a car wash. So right now, and I didn't make the envelope for it. So it's really just cash by itself. This is my car envelope. I'm probably going to make it like tonight. So I have $60. And then I bought car seat covers for $45. So this was $80 in the beginning of the month. I took 20 to the car wash. So now I have 60. I'm going to take out 45. And that will leave me with $15, which I don't have change for that. This is really biting me, putting a lot of stuff on my credit card. I need bills for change. All right, so I'm just going to log that on here, that I have 60. Well, I had 80, got car wash for 20, and then I went from 60, and then I'm going to take out 45 for covers. I have a dog. I have leather seats and a dog, and she has kind of scratched up the seats a little bit. I had a car seat cover, but it was falling apart. So I'm going to take care of this off camera because I need more change. Now, this is the exciting part. So I didn't need to write car wash. Let me zoom in. Paycheck 2 has come in. I did get paid. I expected, so my budgeted carryover checking account amount was $95.18. I put that here because I thought, I should have around that, and this was the plan. And then this is what I thought I might get as a paycheck. This is so specific because when I made my monthly paycheck budget, I knew how much my first paycheck was. And then I typically just say, I'm going to get over this month about $100 worth of overtime. So I took the difference of what my first paycheck was, and then I added to this what would make the $100 of overtime. So that was just an estimate. And did I put my buffer? Yeah, I did. And so my total envelopes here, and I recommend that you break down the different categories as you're closing out and starting up, because I did that in February where I didn't break it down. I was so confused with what was cash and what was already taken care of, what was savings. I was not being organized. So I have 146 in cash envelopes I'm carrying over. I have my checking account numbers, and then I have my new paycheck. And then I'm also bringing over $60 of my car envelope. So I'm going to add that up and get a new total for the month. So we have 60. This is a longer video than I thought. I'm sorry. Plus 146 plus 79.79 plus 1539 plus 1121.20. 1422.38. All right. So I'm going to write that here. 1422.38. Now that I know my beginning income, I can kind of think about what I can do with what extra money I have for the month. So on my calendar, I did write down a plan. You should always have a plan for any extra money because you don't want it to just go to Starbucks, you know. So I wrote down any overtime that I have, I would like it to go to my credit card that I'm paying off next month and savings. I didn't specify which savings, but I just don't want it to, you know, fly off and go to more takeout or something like that that I just don't need. So I'm starting off with $14.22. I'm going to do a really quick cash stuffing with you guys for these. My car envelope, I'm going to write down how much I actually spend when I know that I'm not doing anything else for this weekly paycheck budget. And if you missed it yesterday, I paid off my last irresponsible credit card. So I started with $22,000 in 2020, and now it is gone, all gone. So what I've left in debt is student loans and a credit card that was for foot surgery. That only has $800 on it, and that's going to be paid off next month. So this is gone. I only have 2 debts left, and then I'm debt free. Should be in December. So I'm going to do the cash stuffing, and then I think I'm going to be done for the day. So let me put this over here. Don't need this. So it's a very quick cash stuffing. I don't really need a whole lot of groceries, so I'm glad that I rolled over some because that's even more that I'm probably not going to use. Groceries, I'm stuffing 75. The more I think about it, I do think I'm going to put the little trackers in here because going to my planner every time, I don't know. I thought I would like that, but I'm starting to think I won't. For my puppy girl, she has a vet appointment. That was 85. So here's 85, 50, 70, 85. This is going to go in my pet binder. She's just getting an allergy shot. Oops, that's pet sitting. I didn't make her envelope yet for vet visits. I have the design made, but I don't have the envelope made. So my trusty Post-its, I'm going to put vet visit. Put that on there. And I'm going to just stuff this in here to keep it safe. Okay. And then, where did this come from? Oh boy.